True Serum segment tonight. 3 hot topics, beginning with a grand jury in Washington, D.C. indicting 146 more people who allegedly committed violence on Inauguration Day. Here now are True Serum correspondents Trish Regan and Shawn. So it looks like D.C. authorities are cracking down hard on these demonstrators. Yeah. What's the total so far indicted?
They really have. There are 230 who have been charged. 209 have been indicted. You know, Bill, it's serious because these are felony rioting, and that carries a charge of 10 years in prison with $25,000 in fines. You know, usually most protests, you've covered them, they put you in the paddy wagon and take you to the precinct.
You get a ticket.
Get a DAT, desk appearance ticket, or maybe misdemeanor at most.
Right.
This stuff is serious because of that violence.
It's interesting because D.C. is such a liberal, it's run by the feds. These are federal charges, by the way. So these clowns that committed this violence, and this is a serious business. So they convene a grand jury, the folks, not a judge who can just toss it on some technicality. And they come back and they say, you know, we're going to hold these people accountable. Federal court, as you said, maybe a 10-year, but then if it's a first offense, they're not going to get 10. So the message that I'm seeing is that we're not going to tolerate the anarchy in the District of Columbia.
Yeah, and you've got the new form of protesting, that black bloc protesting, which we saw at Berkeley. It started, as you can see, back in Berlin in the 80s, when they all dress in black, and they cover their faces, and that's some of the violence that we've seen because of what's caused that. So I think they're really looking at those groups, those anarchist groups, and looking at that style of protesting, and are getting tough right off the bat.
And a lot of them had faces covered. That's against the law in the District of Columbia. You cannot have your face covered. And the reason that there's so many prosecutions is cameras. Yeah. Cameras are everywhere now. And so if you do it, they're going to catch you. All right, let's go over to a CBS poll, new CBS poll on whether Islam is a violent religion. Let's put the stats up. The question is, generally speaking, do you think the Islamic religion encourages violence more than any other religions around the world? Less than other religions, the same as other religions. Results you can see, 50%, the same amount. 33% more, 6% less. Now, what's the why behind this, Trish?
Well, I think what's going on, you'll see that 66% of Democrats believe that it's no more violent than any other religion,
right.
As well as half of the people that were polled. And what's going on is that, you know, you think, Bill, about all the political correctness we have in society today. You think about President Obama and the efforts he made, for example, to say this is not radical Islamic terrorism. Right. This is just terrorism. And so that's part of it. Here's
the interesting thing about the question. It's the Muslim religion. That's the key word. So where you can say there are radical clerics, imams driving it, and there are, much more so than Christianity or Buddhism or Shintoism, much more so. I think that word is picked up by the left and saying, well, it's not the religion, it's just the fanatics within the religion.
Well, and people don't want to believe that it could possibly be the religion, and I hear you, it is fanatics who have really taken hold of the religion and distorted it massively. Right. But people don't want to say this. I mean, think about it. If someone asks you this, it means you're condemning Islam in some way. Right. And they've been taught in schools that they shouldn't do it.
63% of Republicans say it's more violent, Islam, and 66% of Democrats say it is not. Okay. Wounded Warrior Project advertises a lot on Fox News Channel. There was a big controversy that money that the folks are sending in wasn't being used to help the vets as much as it should be. The Better Business Bureau investigated, correct?
That's correct.
And it's the big organization. What did they find out?
We covered this a lot here at True Serum last January. It was a big scandal, and it turned out that apparently it's not true. Better Business Bureau says there is no evidence of lavish spending. Charity Navigator, which is the premier group that covers charities, has bumped up Wounded Warrior's rating and now has 4 stars out of 4. It has a 96 out of 100 accountability and transparency. So it's
some people were fired, though. Some people were moved out of that organization.
Steve Nardizzi and Al Giordano, who co-founded it, were let go by the board. 85 people were fired. They had to cut expenses. They lost donations.
Sure.
And now the Better Business Bureau says there's no evidence of all those stories.
All right. But, you know, look, we want, because they do advertise on the Fox News Channel, and a lot of you giving money, your money is going where it should go. That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line.
It's going to help the vets.
All they have to do is look at Charity Navigator and see that.
And I bet you don't hear this story on any other network but here. I bet you don't. Trish, Eric, thank you.